Our featured guests tonight are the real-life couple representing Alabama in this year's inaugural season of the hit show American Song Contest, where each state has an artist or band representing them as they face off against the contestants from the other 50 states and territories, which is actually very similar to the ever popular European format Eurovision. Tonight's guests are the contestants representing Alabama, and with their song The Difference have made it to the finals. Here to chat with us about their story, their song, and their experiences on the show are Danny Brohart and Colton Jones of the band Nico. Danny and Colton, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Thank you. That was an amazing introduction.
Yeah, I need you to go everywhere with us. That was perfect.
So let's start off at the beginning. Where did each of you guys grow up?
Yeah, so she actually grew up in Georgia, and I lived in Montgomery when I was very young. My mom was the business editor at the Montgomery Advertiser there, and that's where I found my love for music. After that, we kind of moved all over the place. I lived in Ohio, lived in Oregon, and eventually I ended up in Tennessee, which is where she ended up at the same time. We met there on a writing session. We actually started dating first. 2 years later, we'd been dating, singing, being annoying and everything. And then we were like, maybe we should try being a band. And simultaneously, we were singing in like a corporate event, wedding band. Yeah. And we got to play all over the Southeast, a lot in like Tuscaloosa and parts of Alabama, some in Georgia too, right?
Yeah, a little bit of all over just the Southeast generally, but yeah.
And then we've been pursuing our band ever since.
So Colton, I know you've talked about this before, but was music a part of both of your households growing up? And if so, what were you guys listening to in the family home?
Oh, yeah.
We're both like such the Y2K family. It's what we grew up on, like the 90s and the early 2000s, like Rihanna, Usher, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like those, the top 40 icons were definitely like what we grew up on, family wide. But then we always bond about our love for like R&B music that was, not as popular, especially for like kids growing up. But we both were drawn so much to the songwriting, to the melodies, to the runs and the riffs that these singers were doing, which is why I think it culminated to make our sound today. We're still very much pop, but we love to like lean on melodies from R&B and jazz even and soul and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So does any music memory stick out to you from your formative years? I grew up in Woodstock, New York, the Woodstock, where everybody looks everybody looks like they just walked out of a Grateful Dead concert still to this day. And so I've got several music memories from when I grew up as a kid. Do you have any that stick out to you from your formative years?
Yeah, so many. I remember like all the music that my mom and stuff would play. So and also my grandmother would play music all the time, and she played like these old, like really old soul, like Motown-ish songs, or I'm not even sure if it was Motown, but there's this one song called Slow Rollin'. And now that I'm older, I like know what the lyrics mean, but as a child I didn't. And I remember like when we lived in Montgomery, my mom's friend was babysitting me and I was singing that song. And later on, my mom showed up to pick me up, and her friend was like, "Mary, your son's kind of got a good voice." And my mom's friend was like, "Sing for your mama, baby." And I sang it, "Slow rolling, yeah, stroking with emotion." And I'm just like,
ridiculous.
And my mom was like, "Don't you sing that again?" But she was like, "Oh, I guess I'll put him in choir or something." And I ended up like in our church choir because I think she needed to, clean up my mouth a little bit.
Give you something to do.
Something to sing that
appropriate.
wasn't, an old soul song.
That's funny because, my son was very much into, he's a drummer and he's a musician himself. And he was very much into Led Zeppelin when he was really, really young, when he was like 5, 6, 7. And, most of Zeppelin's songs are about a certain subject matter. And he was going to a Christian school and he wanted for the talent show to play, like things like the Lemon Song and stuff that, it's like, just no.
No, just no.
But little kids don't know.
It's so innocent, but then any adult is like, what are you doing to your child? You can't,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when he is singing karaoke at 6 and he's singing "Hey Hey Mama," the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
and I have that on tape somewhere. I really do.
Oh, that's priceless.
So, at what point did each of you individually decide that you'd give music a shot? Is there a moment that sticks out in your head where you go, "Okay, I'm giving this a shot"?
I always tell people I grew up doing gymnastics, and it was the moment where I found myself enjoying more of singing along to the national anthem at the beginning of gymnastics meets more than the meet. And I had a sit down talk with my mom. She was devastated. She wanted me to continue on to like the Olympic track for gymnastics. And I told her my little heart wasn't in it. And I was like pretty young, like early middle school. And I was like, I have to do music. My soul is screaming at me. So that was my moment.
Yeah, I think for me, it was always something I did. And because we moved around a lot, it was the only real constant in my life. And so it got to the point where like after high school, I felt like I didn't have any other choice. I was like, well, I can't do anything else.
I have no other skills. So this is it.
So at what point did your paths first cross? It was in Alabama, yes?
Yes. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Actually
So sorry.
Tennessee.
Nashville. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In Nashville, yes.
And what clicked first, the music or the relational chemistry between the two of you?
Definitely the
relationship. Yeah.
Because we met to do a writing
music
session.
Yes.
And then we just talked.
We just talked for like 6-7 hours straight, and we both left being like, we either are going to work really well together or we like each other. And luckily it ended up being both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who hit on who first? Who approached who for the first date?
So I actually, before we actually did the co-writing session or whatever, 2 years before that, I'd heard her sing and I messaged her on Facebook.
Messenger.
And I was like, hey, I want to sing this duet called Endless Love. And it was I wanted to do the Mariah Carey and Luther Vandross version. And I like
the subtle, simple duet.
And I was like, we should sing this together. And she was like, who are you? She said no.
I kindly said, that's a little intense for me.
Yeah, but then 2 years later, after, we did the co-write or whatever, we just kind of hung out and talked. I was like, I definitely was the one to pursue.
So that begs the question, have you done that duet yet? Have you attempted it?
No. Oh my gosh, no one's ever asked us that.
So now you must.
Now we must. Oh my gosh.
You got to have that full circle moment.
We have to.
We need to.
We need to, for sure.
So it's been my experience that many couples are either really good at working together or they're terrible at it. What clicked that made you guys think you could make music together professionally and have the dynamic actually work?
Yeah, I think for us, this is like such a small moment, but it was so big for us. So we were playing at the University of Alabama do you remember what sorority it was?
I don't.
We were like I said earlier, we were the front of like a corporate event band, and the band had been hired to do this. And we were playing a big sorority party down there, and we were singing, maybe it was Chainsmokers, something, one of those songs that were big at the time. And everybody was singing along with us, and it was a duet, and we were like singing together, and we were just like, we have to do this for the rest of our lives. Like it just, I don't know, just like having people sing back the lyrics, and it wasn't our song at the time, but we were like, if we could do that, like with our music, with our writing, it's because we were both writers, we were both writing together. We were like, we have to do this. And like, it just was so fun touring and I don't know, having the shared experience with music in a room full of strangers was just, it's magical.
And then to share it together, and our personalities are so opposite, which is why I think it works. Honestly, like I'm very, very sensitive and I cry mostly every day, and Colton, cries like once a year. So it works out. We balance each other out.
Hey guys, we got to go to a quick commercial break, pay the bills. Can you stick around to the flip side?
Absolutely. Yeah.